Now today, I'm going to show two games that I played a long time ago in the galaxy far away. These games were very quick because my opponents played badly. And if they play badly, that means I win. So both of these games were less than 10 moves long, and I won both of them. One I was white, one I was black. Okay? Which one should we look at first?
White.
Let's look at the one I was white, because I won that one 31 years ago. Okay? So let's look at that one. Now don't blink, it's going to end soon. That was it. Okay, now we'll look at game two. No, game one. Okay, I played E4, a move you've never seen before. My opponent played E5, and I played knight F3, and he played knight C6, and I played bishop C4. Now, if you haven't eaten all day, and you're in Europe, what country do you want to go to? You?
Italy. Hungary.
Hungary, very good. Okay, he knows all my jokes. Good job. Although you really don't want to eat in Hungary because, you got goulash and stuff. Italy was the right answer if you actually want to eat good food.
Yeah.
Okay, Hungary was good if you get the joke. Now, my opponent played a very unusual move, and the reason I asked you about the country of Hungary is it's called the Hungarian defense. Now, most people play bishop to C5, that's the most common move, and some people play knight to F6, that's the second most common move. My opponent played bishop to E7, and I'm actually going to explain why. You, incorrect. Now you, more incorrect. Back to Arjun. Correct. And we're actually going to talk about moves that are so complicated. They're so complicated, I'm going to stand up.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's
Okay, and now Ben Simon's like, what? He's going to stand up. That ruins everything. All right, so pay attention. If I play knight F6 and you play knight G5, you're attacking F7 with the knight and the bishop. That's very complicated, especially for you guys. Okay, so what white does, also known as black, what black does is plays bishop E7. Is knight G5 a good move?
No.
It's good for black. Now if white makes a normal move, and black plays knight F6 like in the last position, and white plays knight G5 like in the last position, now that bishop's not there anymore because it's not there anymore. So now black can castle, and the king and the rook defend the F7 pawn. So the Hungarian defense is based on that motif. Now I had this position 31 years ago. I also had it 1 year ago, but I was black. Okay, and 31 years ago, I played D4. I played in the center because that's what my mom told me to do. And I was 14, so. All right, and my opponent took my pawn. Most of you would play knight takes pawn. Some of you would play queen takes pawn, losing your queen. Those people have to go to the 1 o'clock class. Okay, I played C3 because when I was 14, my favorite character was C3PO. So C3 I played a lot. Okay, now he played a move that grandmasters don't play, but he had a good excuse. He's not a grandmaster. He was rated 1400. I remember his name too. That was 31 years ago. And he played D takes C3. Now half of you would play knight takes C3. The other half would play pawn takes C3. I played neither move. What are my two favorite words? Arjun.
Argentina.
What? No, you.
Checkmate.
No. Checkmate's one word. Check and mate. Okay.
Check.
Also, class dismissed is better than my answer, so you get extra credit. Somebody give him a Kit Kat so you can give it to me. Okay, so I played the craziest move ever, threatening checkmate. How does white threaten checkmate? Is incorrect. You.
Knight to G5.
That does not threaten checkmate. Also, it gives the knight away. The sister of the person who just answered. Bishop F7 does not threaten checkmate, but it is check. So you get partial credit. So if you go to the dentist, tell him I said that.
Okay.
You.
Queen D5.
Queen to D5. Notice the queen and bishop make a battery. Okay, and white's threatening checkmate. Hooray for white.
Yay.
Now, my opponent did something that made very little sense, but since the game was 31 years ago, he was very familiar with Richard Nixon. So what did he do?
E5.
What? He resigned. Exactly. So here, black gave up. Okay? Now, some of the moves you suggested were pretty suspicious. For example, D6 would allow queen F7 and then checkmate with advantage.
But
Okay.
what if moved this king to the right?
Well, that would be really illegal. Okay, that would be the 1 o'clock class. Okay. Now, the only way to, now he shouldn't have resigned, although Nixon should have. You.
Move knight to H6.
Knight H6 was suggested previously. That's the correct move. That would be better than resigning. My opponent saw Knight H6, but he thought it didn't help him. But it does help him.
I said that.
He thought it didn't help him though. So let's look at Knight H6.
How does that not help?
He thought if he played Knight H6, I would play what move? What did he think I would do? You.
Maybe he might go to Queen H5.
I might do that. That's not a bad move. That's a good move.
Because then you can take the.
No, I like that move. Yeah. I wasn't going to do that, but I like it. You. He thought I was going to play bishop takes H6.
That would be dumb.
He was right, too. Now, I've taken a knight. Hooray for me. And I'm threatening checkmate. Hooray for me. So he's like, wait a minute. The guy's still threatening me, and I lost my knight. I don't want to do that, so he resigned.
I know.
Oh, bathroom's over there. So,
Wait, you're gonna just castle.
so then he could just castle. Now he saw all this, and he's like, I'm down a knight. Terrible. However, he has two threats. One of them you see, one you don't see. He's threatening pawn takes bishop, getting his piece back. What else is he threatening? Arjun.
C6 B2.
Pawn takes over here, winning the rook, and making a queen. Now, this is the hardest question ever. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, that's pretty hard. How can white save his bishop and defend this pawn? The bathroom's over there. You. Hey, we have a guest commentator.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Bishop to C1. Very good. Yay. Do you, hold on, how much do you charge for chess lessons?
$1.
That's pretty cheap. All right, have a seat. You did good.
I have a
All right, hold on. Now, white's up a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And black has 3 pieces. I mean like bishops and knights.
But you.
However, black has a tricky move here. And since it was 31 years ago, it was taught to me by Run DMC because it was tricky. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anybody? What's a tricky move that black has threatening the white queen? Is also incorrect. Bathroom's still over there. You. Knight before what? Knight to B4 is correct. Well, I'm a great teacher. They clap. Okay. Now in this position, notice black is threatening knight takes queen. That's the threat you saw. What's the threat you don't see? Arjun. You didn't see it, so you don't know. Good job.
Why do you keep calling on Arjun?
Because he raises his hand. Yes.
Knight C2.
Knight C2. That seems like parental help because I heard the parental. No, this is a class for children, not for parents. Next time we have to send you out of the room. Knight C2 attacks the king and the rook. However, white has a brilliant move. It stops knight takes queen, and it stops knight C2 check.
Queen to D1.
Queen to D1. Now queen D3 is risky because he'll take it.
Yeah.
That's the 1 o'clock class. Okay, queen to D1. Now, black has all these tricks, and white stopped all those tricks. You guys found all the tricks. You know why? Because tricks are for kids. Don't do that. That's the 1 o'clock class. Okay, now black has one last trick. Don't do that, I said. It's called a spoon or a knife. I forgot.
Fork.
Exactly. Arjun. C2. Attacking the queen and the knight.
That's not.
What does this prove? He shouldn't have resigned. But it was good he resigned because I was playing him.
But then you could have just moved your queen up.
Then he would take my knight and I would cry.
Yeah, but then you could take his pawn back.
I would still cry. Also, it wouldn't be a pawn because he has to promote it to something. It would probably be a knight. That's the most likely, right?
But then you could take out your rook.
Right, but I would lose a knight, so he shouldn't have resigned. That was the point. He resigned prematurely. That's what you were going to say, right? So what you're saying is I should let him play pawn takes queen. You know what my answer to that is?
What?
1 o'clock.
Nothing.
1 o'clock class. If you think giving up your queen is a good idea, 1 o'clock class. This is the advanced class where we don't give up our queen, right?
Imagine the train.
In the 1 o'clock class, they like raise their hand, they're like, give up your queen. Then they like high five each other. They're like, oh man, I lost my queen. That's how I roll. Like that's the best they've ever done. Now I gotta tell you a funny story because I like stories. I was giving a lecture in the middle of nowhere, okay? It was very well attended. Anyway, and I showed them this really cool checkmate. And they were like, yay. Okay, those invisible people I imagined. Man, they were loud too. Anyway, the next day, there was a chess tournament in the same place. And I won the round one, my round one game, the same way I showed in the lecture. And then I said, did you go to my lecture? And he's like, no, I couldn't go because we got into a car accident, so I couldn't go to the lecture. Terrible. Okay, still should have gone to the lecture, wouldn't have cost him the point. Okay, now this game I was black. Now don't blink because you'll miss the win. Oh, some of you blinked. I heard it. Okay, now here I made the craziest move ever.
That wasn't very tender.
Probably the worst. No, it's not the worst move on the board. It's like top 5 worst. I played here. What do you think he did?
He didn't take.
He did take. Now, how did I recapture the pawn? What did I do? How did I take back immediately?
Screen.
No, I played knight c6, attacking his pawn.
Is that a good move?
That's the goodest. Then he defended his pawn, and I attacked it again. Then he defended his pawn again.
If I don't just one pawn.
Okay, now I forked 3 things at once. So they actually stopped the game and I got a prize. I still have it on my wall, forking 3 things at once.
Is that possible?
I did it, so it's possible.
Wow.
If it wasn't possible, I couldn't have done it. Okay, Arjun.
Queen b4.
Queen b4 what?
Check.
Ah, very good answer. Queen b4, attacking his king, attacking his bishop, and attacking his pawn. So I told the kid, I brought the kid some Kleenex because he was crying. You know, so many things attacked, right?
Yeah, but you can easily attack 3 pawns at once.
Thank you. Okay, so now, of these 3 things, which 2 are the most important? You.
The king and the bishop.
Right, so he saved his king and his bishop.
Yeah.
How did he do that? What did I tell you about the bathroom? Yes.
Queen d2.
Queen d2. Let's analyze that. Then we can make a movie called Analyze This? All right. Queen to d2. He didn't do that. Let's analyze it. I take this pawn, attacking his rook. Can he save his rook?
No. Yes. No.
Now, I was reading a German chess book, and it said, can he save his rook? And what was the answer?
Yes.
No, it was, Ish don't think so.
Yes. I don't think so.
Yeah. How can he save his rook, Arjun? Queen c3 is the only way to save your rook. Unfortunately, black has a move that wins everything, plus tax. You.
Bishop to b4.
Bishop b4 what?
Bishop. What?
Before something else?
Bishop
Bishop b4, pinning the queen to the king. I hate when that happens, unless I'm black, then I like it. Okay, so my opponent didn't do that. He played even worse.
How can he play even worse?
Well, he's talented. Instead of queen d2, he played bishop d2. That's a very strong move. I agree with that move. I took. Now he made a bad move, which is good because I was playing him. Now, there's two normal ways to defend your rook. There's also a third way. There's the right way, the wrong way, and my way. My way is the wrong way, but quicker. Hope the Simpsons don't sue me. Okay, so bishop c3 is what he did. That's a mistake. Knight c3 is what he should have done. Now his queen protects his rook, and later he can castle with his queen.
You can't castle with me.
I can't, I'm a grandmaster. Okay, so knight c3 is good because you should develop your knight. Or you could move your bishop every move and lose, also good. So he played bishop c3, and if you remember the answer you gave 1 minute ago, I can play the same move. Remember when the queen was on c3, the winning move? What was it?
You can play bishop to b4.
Bishop to b4.
Before what?
Now, if it was black's move, I would play queen takes rook, and I would be ahead of rook. I like that.
But then you lose the bishop and you lose the
My bishop's defended. Okay, so he didn't want to lose his rook, so he didn't. Makes sense. He played queen to d2. Now in the 1 o'clock class, they would probably play bishop takes queen, and then that would be illegal. Then they have to go back to the 12 o'clock class. Eventually, you got to wake up at 5 a.m. if you play bad enough. Okay, so he played queen to d2, and now he's going to play bishop takes queen next move, followed by me crying. Okay, so I took his bishop, and he was like, and he had no beard, so it was really hard to do it. And he realized if he takes with a knight, I'll take his rook for free. He didn't want to lose his rook, so he took with a queen. Now most of you would play queen takes queen, and then I would play knight takes queen, and that's a fair trade. Some of you would play queen takes rook, and then white would play queen takes queen. You go, oh yeah, that's right. However, the strong player, the 2 o'clock kind of chess player, they would play what move? You.
C1.
Incorrect.
Wow.
You.
b4.
Also incorrect.
I mean,
Every move suggested so far has been illegal. You.
B6.
B6 is legal. Good job. The first legal move suggested.
C1 queen. That was queen C1.
You.
B4.
What?
C1.
Queen C1.
That's what I said.
No, you said C1.
I don't care.
Well put. Queen C1, stalemate.
That's checkmate.
See, earlier when queen C1 was suggested, there was a bishop there, then it wasn't as good. Close. Now it's checkmate.
You said stalemate though.
Right. Okay, so I won, hooray.
yeah.
Also, I showed a lecture just like I showed you, and he went right into it. That was nice of him. So now you can do that and beat your opponent, right?
No.
Yeah.